Hello, my name is Harry, your Heimdal security support specialist, and I'm here today to share with you our recommendations for email security settings. First, let's speak about what email security does. The email security engines scan for the most intrusive methods cybercriminals use to introduce malware and viruses into corporate systems. Lightweight, easy to deploy, and highly responsive, our email security anti-malware and anti-spam filter can be scaled to any number of endpoints within your organization. The email security features include anti-spam protection, botnet protection, advanced malware filtering, protection against DNS hijacking, phishing protection, and others. Before showing you our recommendations, please note that the settings that I am about to show you are not the best custom settings, but the ones Heimdal recommends as a starting point in configuring the product according to your needs. Now, let's show you how to do the configurations. First, you need to navigate to the network settings and click on the Email Protection tab, then Email Security, and open the domain on which you want to apply the changes. Now click on the additional domain settings. The first thing that you should change here is the resend retention time and set it to 90 days. Put inbound delivery on pause should be off. Recipient verification should be on. The same goes for DMARC and SPF, they both should be on. The sender rewriting scheme should be off. Block emails without TLS should be on, with action on detection set to quarantine. Block outbound Danish CPR number if no TLS transmission should be on, only in the situation where you use email security outbound filtering and your company is Danish. Always block outbound Danish CPR number should be off. Forced TLS and forced TLS transmission to any domain should be off. DKIM signing should be set, but only if you use email security outbound filtering. SIPO in and SIPO out should be set to off. Now, moving to the Anti-Spam Settings tab, in this section, the first thing you need to do is to enable the Anti-Spam Settings option. Then, under the Presets option, we suggest you select the default option and the spam scores will be automatically adjusted. Please don't forget to save your changes after you apply them. I will do that at the end. Then, under the Action view, the only change you need to apply here is to select the Quarantine option for all other emails. Moving to the Security Settings tab, here our suggestion is to enable all the security options from all three tabs and make sure the action on detection is set to quarantine. Next on our list is the Block List, Allow List, and Greylist tab. Here, in case you decide to add an entry, our suggestion would be to have the action set to Reject. On the Whitelist section, in case you decide to add an entry, our suggestion is to enable the SPF/DMARC scanning and virus scanning. The domain greylist threshold and the tag graylisted emails options should be enabled, with the limit set to 1. The next tab is the attachment settings one. Here we recommend having all options enabled and action on detection set to quarantine. The last two tabs on which we should apply changes are the Quarantine Settings tab and the Limits tab. Let's start with the Quarantine Settings tab. Here you should first set the time zone option to fit your time zone. Then make sure you set the report to be set every hour. The next option that you should enable is the Admin Quarantine Report by email, and you should do this only if IT Administrator is the person designated to monitor and release quarantined emails. If not, you can go with the option User Quarantine Report by email. This option should be used if you want to let your end users release their own emails. But if you decide to go with the Admin Quarantine Report by email option, then you will need to add the email address of the IT Administrator so that he can receive the quarantined emails. Multiple addresses can be added. The next option that you will need to change is the Spam Limits option. Click on the button and make sure the values are the same as the ones in anti-spam settings. If the values are not set correctly, some of the quarantine reports might not be sent. Moving to Advanced Threat Protection, here you will need to enable the options that fit your organization. We do recommend enabling the Include in Report option and the Preview option for all the categories. But when it comes to the release option, this is something that you need to double check before enabling it. For example, if you decide to let your users release their own emails, you can let them release the spam emails, but releasing emails that contain malware might not be what you want. Last but not least is the Limits tab. Here recommend enabling the Outbound Limits option, and then setting the Outbound minute rate to 200 and the Outbound daily rate to 10,000. These were our recommendations for the email security module. Please don't forget to save the changes at the end. That was it for today. Thank you for listening. For other questions or inputs, please contact us at corpsupport@heimdalsecurity.com. And if you want to know more about the option that we discussed, please check the link under this video.